I grew up in a household where all my siblings would be chilling downstairs in the living room, and then as soon as my dad would come home, as soon as the garage door would open, we'd all disperse. Like, we'd all go in our separate rooms. Like, fun time is over.
Hey guys, so I just wanted to make this TikTok because I feel like I owe you guys kind of an explanation, and I also just wanted to rant to you guys about some things that have been going on because you guys are very supportive of me and my family and we really appreciate it. And I just think you should be aware of the things that have been going on because there's reasons why I haven't posted as much, or back then I wasn't posting as much, and I just want to be a better content creator for you guys and start getting out there. But I just wanted you to be aware of these things so you guys just don't think I just wasn't posting videos for no reason. So as you guys know, my dad did die when I was 14 years old, and when I found him and his house passed away, I took a pregnancy test right before and found out I was pregnant. So I found out I was pregnant and lost my dad in the same day. Now, I was living with my dad, and since my dad had passed away, I had to go live with my mom and be with my mom. Since my dad passed away, she started treating me a different way. It got really bad. There was times when I would cry and grieve over my dad while I was pregnant, and she would sit there and scream in my face. Fast forward, I have Nova and everything, and she meets this new dude that she is currently still with now. Things were getting really bad, and it felt like Dylan and I had to walk on eggshells no matter what we did, no matter what we said. We were scared and felt like we couldn't use our voice. And that is when I started posting on TikTok, was to get a distraction from the things that were going on in my house. When I started TikTok, it made my mom very, very angry because I did have a wish list, and multiple people were so kind enough to use their own money to purchase things for me and my daughter. Anytime a package came to the door or I said anything about TikTok, my mother was very, very negative about it and was just very angry about it. And I never understood why, because I know if my child was successful on an app and people were supporting her and very kind to her, especially when she had just lost her dad and found out she was pregnant, I would be very happy for my daughter that she has a connection with people like that. So then her boyfriend, he ended up doing some very bad things to me. Never physically touched me, but he did reveal himself to me and expose himself to me multiple times. I was very scared and I didn't know what to do, so one night I decided to tell my mom what her boyfriend was doing. Instead of my mom supporting me and being there for me, she threatened me and told me that she would move me out of my boyfriend's house and moved me into a house with them by myself, because they were living in my boyfriend's house and then they moved out as soon as I turned 18. So the one person who was supposed to protect me did not protect me. She failed me. And after she found out and he knew that she knew about what he was doing, he just got worse because she didn't care and she didn't do anything. I felt very trapped. I didn't know what to do. I stopped posting on TikTok and I just sat in my room every single day for months on straight. I get to post my cooking videos that I make for you guys because I didn't want to go downstairs and be around them. Every time I went downstairs, her boyfriend made me really uncomfortable, and if I was off or my attitude was off or anything, my mom would make a huge fight about it and it would just be a huge thing, and she'd threaten me with all this stuff, saying she's going to take stuff away from me, and she even threatened to put me in foster care. That is why I was just not posting for such a long time, and I just kept telling you guys I was sick, but really I just could not leave my room. I could not be around the people that were living in my house. Dylan went to work at 6 p.m. and he gets off at 6 a.m. so he would literally go downstairs and make sure me and Nova had enough food from 6 p.m. to 9 p.m. when it was her bedtime, because I refused to go down there if he was not here because I felt uncomfortable. Then I turned 18. She made sure she made my 18th birthday the most miserable day of my life. And a couple days after that, she got the hint that it was time for her and her boyfriend to move out of my house after what they have put me and my family through. Now that they have moved out of my house, I'm getting constantly harassed and stalked. Will not stop texting my friends, and my mom's boyfriend has even been in my yard and has messed with my car that I had just got. The harassment is never ending with them, and I also just got a call from my school today stating that my mom unenrolled me in school. And for the last 2 years, she was stealing my Social Security that I was getting from my dad. And she's also still claiming me on food stamps and my daughter on food stamps. So she's getting all this money for food to feed her and her boyfriend that did these bad things to me. I just wanted to post this and just tell you guys what has been going on, because I know I'm not active and I am so sorry about that. I just found out I am pregnant and she just will not stop harassing me along with her boyfriend. So yeah, I just wanted to apologize. I know I'm not active. I'm going to start being active. Me and Dylan are really going to start getting into the TikTok creating because we love you guys and you guys have just been so supportive of us. And I remember when we started off with 500 followers and now we're almost at 95,000 followers, and it just blows my mind, and you guys mean so much to me. I really just wanted to fill you in and give you guys an explanation. So yeah, all aside, I just want to ask you guys if there's any videos or things you want me to talk about or explain more, and I can do it. Just let me know. And I also just wanted to add in, if your child tells you that something is going on or something is wrong, don't ignore their feelings. Please, please, please listen to them, because children don't just make up some stories like this. And thank you guys for listening and watching. I really appreciate it, and I hope you all have an amazing night.
Oh, you want to know what the woman that gave birth to me did to me? Let me tell you. I've been waiting to air this bitch out. I'm just gonna insert every possible trigger warning. Like, this is a lot. My mother single-handedly caused me to develop an eating disorder at the ripe age of 6 years old. She used to beat me until I ate all of my food. She didn't finally take me to the hospital until it got to the point to where she would beat me and I still wouldn't eat the food. Like, I stopped giving a fuck. And then she finally took me to the hospital. To this day, almost 20 years later, I still have a complicated relationship with food. When I was 7 years old and my mother was getting remarried, and I decided to tell some of my friends because I was excited about my mom getting married, she found out, beat the living shit out of me, and threw me out of the house at the ripe age of 7. For some reason, when I was 9 years old, my mother had this sudden fear that I was gonna end up pregnant at 9. So she would show me these horrifying, disgusting videos of people that were dying of AIDS in hospitals and be like, that's what's gonna happen to you if you decide to have sex. And I was 9. And because of this irrational fear, when there was a day when I was in like 2nd or 3rd grade, she couldn't find me when she came to pick me up from school. And she accused me of doing things in a bathroom with 3 other boys. 9. Not even in the double digits yet. There was this one time when I was in 8th grade, I woke up in the morning to get ready for school, and I guess I woke up late or whatever, so my mom woke me up with a belt, beat me. That was the first thing that I got that morning. But I also happened to have like an absolutely horrible headache, and when I tried to tell my mother about it, she didn't give a fuck and told me to get dressed and get ready for school. I go to school, and I'm crying in first period, so much so that my teacher writes me a note and sends me to the nurse, and the nurse sends me home because I have a fever of 102. And my mother, when she picked me up, had the audacity to say, well, I didn't know you were feeling bad like that, bitch. When I was 15 and started self-harming, my mother tried to beat and pray the depression out of me, saying that I had a devil inside of me or some fucking shit. When I was 16 and my mother found out that I had a boyfriend, she decided that she couldn't trust me in my room anymore and that I had lost my bed privileges, and so she made me sleep on the floor in the living room for a month. And this was in December, so I was just sick all the time. It was horrible. When I was 17 and was so depressed with the life that I was living and told my mother that I wanted to unalive myself, she handed me a knife and told me to go do it. When I was 18 and got SA'd and told my mother about it, she beat me half to death, threw me out of the house for about 5 days, and then when she finally let me back in the house, she forced me to sit there with her, my rapist, and his parents, while all 4 of them tried to tell me that I was a liar and didn't know what I was talking about. And then she brought me back home, beat me again, and when I tried to get her off of me, she called the police and told them that I tried to assault her, and they arrested me. That shit's still on my record. And let's not forget when I was 22 and called her because my fiance had cheated on me for the 3rd time and I was in absolute tears, and she told me to give him another chance because she could tell how much he loved me. And that's not even a 4th of the shit that she's done. Yeah, fuck her. I don't speak to her. Fuck her.
We're not even really going to start from the top, because if we start from the top, we'd be here for days. So we're just going to start from the day that it initially started. Okay, so boom, I'm getting ready to go to a wedding for real. I got on my dress, I got on my makeup, I got on my heels. I go upstairs to ask my sister how my outfit looked, because that's my little sister. That's what I always do. My mom is just sitting on the couch, just mad at the world, like how she usually is. I finished getting ready. I come up the steps. I'm waiting on my Uber. I open the door because my Uber is about to pull up. She comes down the steps and slams the door and is like, shut the door because my AC is on. But the Uber is literally like pulling up. So it's like, I gotta open the door to get out the house. So now she's kirking out. Now she's mad. She told you to shut my door. I just told your ass to shut my door because my AC is on. Just doing too much. So I'm like, all right, bet. It's time for me to go. I gotta go. My Uber's pulling up anyway. I just was trying to leave from the jump. So then at this point, I'm out the house. I'm not even worried about her. I'm just in the Uber. And she texted me I have until August 1st to move out her house. Still not paying her no mind because I'm not going to let her ruin my day. Like, I'm not going to let you make me mad for the rest of the day. So Monday come, I'm sitting in the car and I get a text from my little sister. She like, oh, she in here talking about you again. Mind you, I said again, because this is this is what she does. She has a problem with me. I don't know what the problem is, but she never says it to me. She just talks about me on the phone to family members and to friends instead of coming to me and actually like trying to get to the problem, get to the source of the problem, actually having the conversation. She just talks about me on the phone with people. So this is what she's saying on the phone about me. Mind you, she done already told half my family that I got arrested. I never got arrested. I've never been to jail. Like, she just told half my family that I got arrested and that I went to jail. I just graduated cosmetology school and I'm a hairstylist working in a salon. I feel like it's jealousy because maybe she didn't do what she wanted to do with her life and now she's just trying to paint this picture of me not doing nothing with my life. She's trying to just do everything in her power to just sabotage everything. So mind you, I'm not tripping. I'm like, don't care. I go back in the house and I got an envelope on my bed. It's from my grandfather. My grandfather wrote on the thing, graduation plus birthday gift. Then he wrote $2,100 on it. Here's $1,500 because you owe me for monthly payments of May. Mind you, this happened in June. I owe her monthly payments for May, June, July. July hasn't even came yet. In August. Mind you, she just told me I need to be out her house by August 1st. So why am I giving you any money for the month of August? You don't get no money for the month of August. And you don't get no money for the month of May because May passed and I gave you your money. So at this point, now I'm really mad because I don't pay the talking no mind. I don't pay whatever you say no mind. But now you're playing with my money and I don't play about my money. So I go upstairs. I'm like, did you take $600 out of here? She like, yeah, because this is the money that you owe me. Like, I don't owe you anything. July hasn't even came yet. You already got money for May. The only thing you probably need is money for June. And you don't just go take people money out their stuff. Like, what is wrong with you? So I'm like, no. I'm like, give me my money back and I'll give you the money when it's due. She like, okay. Well, I'll give you the money. I'm like, okay. When you gonna give me the money? Because you just took it out the envelope, so it's nothing stopping you from giving it to me. She got mad. I just told your ass I'm going to give you the money. So at this point, I'm just mad. I'm mad because I feel like I can't do anything about it. So I call my grandfather. I'm like, did you tell her it was okay for her to take $600 out my money? He like, no, I never told her that it was okay for her to do that. Like, I told her to give it to you for after graduation or before your birthday. And I said, okay. So I went back in the house. Mind you, for graduation, she didn't even congratulate me. She didn't even congratulate me on graduating cosmetology school. None of that. So I go back in the house. I'm like, can you repeat that on the phone to her? So he said it again. And he like, well, she like, well, I never said that he told me I could do it. I just did it because you owe me money. I don't owe you no money, lady. I don't owe you no money. What is wrong with you? Owing somebody money means past tense, meaning like you gave me money and I never paid you back. I don't owe you anything. Those months didn't even come up yet and you taking money out for those months. You're being greedy and you're being a thief. That's what you're being. So at this point, we just going back and forth because she's still not trying to give me the money. Like, all right, you can get out my house now. Pack all your stuff. Get out now. Get out my house. Oh, you're not going to treat me like that. Now I'm calling the police because, yeah. She like, I will give you the money. I will give you the money. She like, don't call my father with this foolishness. Why are you calling my father with this foolishness? Like, girl, what is foolish about it? Nothing about this is foolish. I'm very much so serious. Give me my money back. I'm not playing. I said, so is that right or is that wrong? She can't give me an answer if she's right or if she's wrong. She like, get out my room, Imani, get out my room. She trying to talk in like this like calm voice, trying to manipulate me to thinking that like I'm supposed to be scared or something because she's talking calm and she trying not to get rowdy or whatever. But she like, get out my room, Imani, get out my room, get out my room. I'm like, is that right or is that wrong? She's still not giving me an answer, and she's still not giving me my money. So at this point, I step out the room and I'm still in the doorway, and I'm like, so is you right or is you wrong? Like, give me my money. So at this point, she like, get out my house, pack all your stuff, get out, whatever. So I'm like, all right, let me call the police, because you're not about to kick me out and doing a legal eviction. You're mad because I came upstairs and confronted you about some money that you stole. Hello, 911, what's your emergency? I'm like, yeah, my mother is trying to do a legal eviction and she just stole $600 from me. It's like the dispatcher, like, didn't even try to figure out the situation. She didn't try to, like, to hear the circumstances. Like, it's like she just knew what the hell I was talking about as soon as I said it. So she's like, okay, we sending officers on the way. What's the address? Told them the address. Now at this point, I'm downstairs and I'm sitting on the couch, and my little sister is sitting right there. Another reason why I didn't go upstairs, because the way I was feeling, I wanted to go upstairs and I wanted to punch her in her face, because why are you taking my money? Listen, I'm saying this for real. I'm not trying to be no type of way. I'm not trying to be disrespectful or none of that. I'm telling you how it really is. She is lucky that I did not punch her in her face. Because it's like, you keep doing stuff to me, you keep picking with me, you keep doing little stuff, and it's like you're waiting for a reaction. But when I give you the reaction, you're not going to be happy about the reaction. You're going to actually be mad, and then you're going to be sitting there trying to play victim as if you didn't do anything wrong for me to act like this. And I'm on the phone with them. Then that's when she want to come downstairs with the money in her hand. She sets it on the counter. She like, here your little money, you can have your little money. Oh, now it's little. Now the money is little. Like, how old is she? I'm like, she's 45. She all like, I'm not 45, I'm 44. Who cares? Same difference. Are any other people in the house? Is there any children in the house? I said, yes, I have a little brother and a little sister. They like, how old are they? I'm like, my sister is 13, my brother is 6. I mean, I said my brother is 7. She like, he's not even 7 yet. He's 6. Like, girl, what makes the difference? At the end of the day, the police is getting called and you about to give me my money. So the police pull up. They're like, hello, ma'am, how are you doing today? I'm like, I'm good, how are you? They're like, I'm fine. So what seems to be the issue? I'm like, well, she just stole $600 from me, and then she just tried to kick me out of her house because I said something to her about stealing the $600. So she like, no, I didn't. No, I didn't. I never kicked her out the house. I said she can leave my house. Girl, that's literally the same thing. Like, what are you talking about? So the police like, well, ma'am, you can't kick her out the house. That's an illegal eviction. I knew what I was talking about. That's why I called the police. Because, yeah, you're not going to do me like that. They're like, you can't kick her out the house. It's a legal eviction. You have to have something, like, within the court saying that, you know, she has to be out by a certain time. And mind you, before all this happened, before the situation with the wedding happened, she told me I had to get out of her house by December 1st. Cool. Now, all of a sudden, I'm going to a wedding and I look cute and you're mad. Now I got to get out your house by August 1st. So the next one, I'm like, yeah, and she stole my $600. She like, well, I didn't steal no money from her. I gave her the money. As she's talking to the police officer, she got the money in her hand. So how did you give me the money if the money in your hand? They're like, well, ma'am, is that the money that you're supposed to be giving her? And she like, yes, but I need my change for my $50 because I owe her $150 every month. Whoop-de-doo. You can have your $150 every month. I really do not care. After she said that, I'm like, all right, bet. That's all you had to say. $50? You can have $50. $50 is nothing cash. And she felt dumb because she didn't know I had that much money. And don't worry, babes, it's going in the bank. That's why it's with me. Straight hand her the $50, take the rest of my money, because like, what was that all about? All of this really could have been avoided. So the police like, ma'am, is there anything else? Like, is there any other issues that you have? Do you have any other problems, any questions, any concerns? I'm like, no. They like, ma'am, do you have any questions and concerns about the eviction process? Anything like that? She like, no, because she feels dumb. Now she feels really dumb. I know she did. Because first of all, you didn't know I had that much money. And second of all, you thought nobody was going to call the police. You literally just committed a crime. You stole money from me and you're trying to do an illegal eviction. You're being a criminal right now. So I'm going to treat you like you're being a criminal. I just wanted to make this video for the people who are dealing with stuff like this in their life, who are currently going through the same stuff with their parents. It's like you're trying to get to a certain place in life. You see something bigger for yourself in life, but it's these people that just keep tearing you down. They're not on your side. And you want them, or you expect them to be on your side because that's your mom, that's your parent. Like, that's what they're supposed to do. They're supposed to love you unconditionally, even if you make mistakes, even if you do things wrong sometimes, even if you're not perfect. And even sometimes when you are doing the right thing, they still don't love you because they can't accept the fact that they didn't do nothing that they were supposed to do in their life, or they're not satisfied with their life. So they just feel like, I'm just going to make everybody else's life miserable because my life isn't happy. It's going to get better. Like, things are going to change. Just keep doing what you got to do. Take it a day at a time. It's all about control with them. They just want to be in control of everything. Want to be able to see what you're doing every 5 seconds. And I'm not letting them do that. Even like the type of person to be doing too much. If you can ask anybody that knows me, like, I don't do anything. I go to work. And when I was in school, I went to school and then I went home. Even now that I'm not in school anymore and I graduated, I go to work and I go home. And if it's the weekends, then yeah, I will go out. I just recently started going out more now because it's like I don't even want to be home with you. Why would I want to sit in the house with you while you're mad and miserable and you just keep doing little stuff? Like, she will walk around the house slamming stuff, kicking my stuff out the way. It's just so weird. And I think it's because I'm not giving her a reaction, because it's like, I'm just going to let you act crazy because I'm not going to sit here and stoop to your level and act crazy with you. I hate is when people be like, oh, that's still your mom, like, you still gotta respect your mom and this and that. Like, I feel like me calling the police was most definitely the most respectful thing that I could have done, because had I took another route, the police would have been being called on me. Okay, like, I understand that this is my mom, but when is she gonna remember at the end of the day that I'm her daughter and that I didn't ask to be here? You birthed me. You brought me in this world. It's okay for you to disrespect me. It's okay for you to steal money from me. It's okay for you to just constantly pick with me. But I always just have to remember that you're my mom. How do you expect to receive respect for somebody if you don't respect them? Like I said, if you're dealing with this, it's going to get better. Don't worry about it. Don't stress about it. You're going to be good. God got you. God going to make sure you're good. You're going to be fine. It hurts because it's like, it's your mom and you would never expect your mom to act this way. Who wants their mom to be jealous? Who wants their mom to just try to sabotage everything in their life? Like, who actually genuinely wants that coming from their mom? Nobody. And it's like, you still love her and you still care about her, but it's like, sometimes you just got to do it from a distance because they don't understand. Clearly, she's just not understanding. Maybe she needs some more healing, more growing to do. All you can do is pray for them and pray that their mind will get better. Pray that God can deliver them from the mindset that they're in and just keep going with your life and love from a distance. That's all you can do.
Unhinged things that my stepmom said and did to my sister and I. When I very first started wearing makeup, she told me that my eyelashes were too long, so I should cut them because they look like spider legs. When I told her that one of her sons was hiding in my closet while I was taking showers so he could watch me get dressed, she said, that's just what brothers do. I've never had brothers before, so how was I supposed to know? That's just what they do. They love to prank. They're just being silly. Oh, and she also said that when I told her that they had also peed in my sister and I's shampoo, and when they peed in water guns and sprayed it at us. They were just being silly. We would know that if we'd grown up with brothers. This is a good one. One time, my biological mom called me while I was doing the dishes to tell me that my dog had been hit by a car and died. And then my stepmom, we'll call her Marcy, because that's her name, she made me finish doing the dishes while I cried about my dead dog. Then when I was in middle school, I had the audacity to disagree with her. So as punishment, she made me wear ugly dresses that she picked out every single day to school for a week. Middle school kids, though, are like notoriously like kind-hearted and sweet, so it was not humiliating at all. She also wouldn't let me have a picture of my biological mom in my room because how do you think that makes me feel? Every time I come in here, I have to look at her. And, you know, as an 11-year-old, I should have thought of that, you know? My sister and I also were not allowed to shower upstairs in the nice finished bathroom. No, we had to shower in the basement, in the bathroom that was rotting from mold and mildew. Also didn't have a working light and was full of spiders. Don't worry though, because her sons, they were allowed to shower upstairs. My older sister got grounded one time because she threw up at school and got sent home, which obviously she did on purpose and faked the fever and the flu.
I used to have this bunk bed that had like drawers under it, and my sister had one side and I had the other. And so I would hide my journal under my clothes in there. And then when I was at school, she would obviously dig through it, read my journal, but she would then leave my journal on top of my clothes open. That way I knew that she had read it. She was just being considerate. She just wanted me to know, heads up, I did invade your privacy, go through your things and read your journal. This one's kind of weird, but she made us call her ex-husband's dad, so her son's grandpa. She made my sister and I call him grandpa too, which was just really weird. When we went from middle school to high school, she made us go to a high school that was like out of our zone or whatever, because she said that we weren't allowed to have friends. So she just started us at a new school. That way we wouldn't know anyone.
Here are the story times of weird shit that my psychotic father would do. My podcast episode last week, I told you guys like how I don't have a dad and stuff because he's like abusive. He's no longer in my life, but I was like, wait, let me make a TikTok just about like the weird shit he would do. Not even like the deep and heavy shit, just like the weird shit. I'm aware this is a serious topic, but I spent years healing from it, so I'm like, let's laugh a little. One time my mother like forced me to text my dad talking about one of my cheer competitions. All you guys need to know is that I misspelled competition in this text message. This man came in my room at like 11:30 at night, dragged me downstairs, made me sit down with a pen and paper and spell competition correctly. He was like, I can't believe you don't know how to fucking spell competition. Like, you're a junior in high school. Like, you're gonna sit here and you're gonna spell it correctly. And I was like, this is why I don't fucking text you, because you're literally insane. It's like, you're gonna be here all night if you don't get to spelling, and like gave me a piece of paper and a pen and like literally forced me to spell it. Here's the issue. I still didn't know how to fucking spell it. Obviously, if I'm misspelling it, I do not know how to spell the word. Did he just think it was gonna magically come to me? So I'm sitting there, I'm like, competition. I'm sounding it out like competition. Like, I still can't fucking spell competition to this day. He's like making me write it and I'm getting pissed. I'm like, you're so fucking dumb and weird. Like, who does this? I'm screaming for my mom. I'm like, Mom! He's like, your mother's not gonna come and help you with this. I'm like, I just want to go to bed. Like, I have school at 7 a.m. Like, fuck how to spell competition. I don't need that. At this point, 30 minutes has gone by and I'm still not spelling competition correctly. And I'm like, whatever, fuck this. I'm going to bed. And he's like, if you move, I'm taking away your phone. I just look at him and I go, wait, my mother pays for my phone. You can't do shit. I awoke in the beast with that statement. At this point, my mother comes down the stairs and she's like, what the fuck is happening? Like, what are you doing? And I'm like, this fucking psychopath is making me spell competition because I misspelled it in a text message and I still don't know how to fucking spell it, Mom. Mom's like, just go to bed. Like, leave him. Like, just go. My dad's like, if you move, it's gonna be a problem. I'm taking your phone. I'm like, the phone Mom pays for? And I walked up my stairs and took my ass to bed, but I was like, I literally still don't know how to spell competition. And guess what? I'm successful regardless. That's why we have autocorrect. But why the fuck did I have to sit and spell on it? Like, this man was just insane. This next story, my mom says, is the reason that they like got divorced. It was like a Thursday night and I was cooking my sister dinner and we're laughing. We're having a good time in the kitchen. So obviously I'm cooking dinner and I have like the cabinets open because like I'm grabbing spices. I'm doing my thing. My father walks in the kitchen and our laughs were like, ah, ha, 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 to like when that man walked in, we were like, what the fuck does the beast want? Go to part 2. So my dad comes in the kitchen and we're both like, and he's like, close the cabinets. And I'm like, no, like I'm literally in the middle of cooking. Like I'm not gonna close the cabinets because like I'm just gonna have to open it in 2 fucking seconds. And he's like, close the cabinets. And I'm like, why? And he's like, cause I said so. Close the fucking cabinet. I'm like, you literally came in here to tell me to close the cabinets? Like, why do I need to close the cabinets? He's like, don't ask me fucking questions. At this point in my life, like I did not like this man. I had no respect for him. So I look at him and I go, no. I'm cooking my sister and I dinner because my mother's working. I'm gonna leave the cabinets open because I'm cooking. And he's like, close the fucking cabinets. And didn't have a reason. It's like, why do the cabinets need to be closed? You know, like I'm in the midst, like just the dumbest shit. And I look again and I'm like, no. This man bolts towards me and I like run the fuck upstairs. My mom comes home. I'm in tears. I'm like, why did this weird fuck want me to close the cabinets? Like it literally made no sense. I was just trying to cook us dinner because like we didn't have dinner yet. My mom's like, don't worry about it. Like, I don't know why he wanted you to close the cabinets. My dad wanted to take me out of like all my competitive cheerleading and like my school cheerleading because I wouldn't close the cabinets and like didn't want me to have a social life. Literally, because I wouldn't close the cabinets because I was cooking fucking dinner. Like, that's what he wanted my punishment to be. But what you guys need to know was I wasn't in school for a year before that because of like really bad anxiety. So I missed my like entire year of school. And I was just getting back into the swing of things. And my mom was like, no, like I cannot have her out of any social thing. She'll just go backwards. Like, we can't do that. And my dad was like, then I want a divorce. And my mom was like, good, let's fucking get one. All because I did not want to close the cabinets because I was cooking fucking dinner. Like, it was just the weirdest shit ever. It's like, why does it matter if the fucking cabinets are open? One time when I was 15 years old and I had no idea how to drive, my father woke me up and forced me to drive him to the train station. My mom and sister were like out of town and I was the only one home. You guys, like, I literally didn't even have my permit at this point, and the train station was 3 blocks away. I'm like bawling my eyes out. I'm like, I don't know how to drive. I don't know how to drive. And he's like, I'll fucking teach you. Just get in the car and drive with me. And it's like 7 a.m. I'm bawling my eyes out behind the steering wheel. I'm like, I'm gonna crash. He's like, shut the fuck up. I'm like, I'm gonna die. Like, to make matters worse, he's yelling at me like, why don't you know how to drive yet? I'm like, I'm 15. I have a late birthday. He like gets off at the train station. He's like, see, it wasn't that bad. I'm like, wait, I don't know how to get home. I don't know how to drive home. I can't drive home alone. He's like, figure it out. I'm like, what the fuck? It took me 20 minutes to go 4 blocks. I had no idea how the fuck to drive. Like, I only had driven with my mom in like the cemetery. That's all I knew. I literally drove 5 miles per hour going home and was just bawling my eyes out the whole time. And that's the story time of just weird shit my psychotic father would do.
Okay, so my mom chewed me, my brother, and my other sister out because my brother got a job at 17. My brother has been looking for a job ever since he was 16 years old because he did not want to live under my mom's money no more. He wanted to make it himself because he wanted to feel like a man. I said, cool, fine. Me and my man and my sister were helping him get one. But it's been over a year, and every job that he has called, they told him we're not hiring, or call us back, or they canceled his interview, and then he would go for another one, and they just wouldn't give him the job. So my brother finally catches a break. He calls his job. They give him an interview. He goes in for the interview, and guess what happens? He gets the job. I'm so proud of him. I cried. I was so happy for him. My man was happy. My sister was happy. Our even baby sister was happy, even though she didn't understand what's going on. We were all happy for him, but my mom didn't know yet. My mom has to know that my brother had a job for 2 weeks before she found out, which was like 2 days ago. And he had to tell her only because it was going to align with their schedule. So my mom literally works almost all week and all weekend, and some days she's off. But when my brother was working, my mom was working, so she never knew that my brother had a job. The reason why my mom had found out was because my mom was off that day, and me, my man, my sister, and my baby sister, and everybody went out because we were picking my brother up to go to work. But we was hoping that my mom wasn't gonna find out because she never comes out of her room. She stays in that room all day long. She says it's because of us, because we bully her in there and we never like her when she comes out. But when she comes out of that room, you know what she does all day? She yells at us, she cusses at us, she says we're not good enough for anything. She tells us that we can never be anything without her. She literally says when she dies, we're gonna die because we don't know how to do nothing in life without her. So we came back to her house because we had to drop everybody off, but my brother wasn't with us because he said that he was going to get out at 3. So we said, well, let's not go back until we have to go get him. But guess what? His job told him that if he left at 3, they would have to call him back in and he would have to stay until 5 to 9. He didn't want to do that, so he'll just say, I'll stay until 5. So we came back. She noticed that my brother wasn't with us, and she was like, where's your brother? And my sister was like, oh, I don't know. Because he told us, do not tell her until I'm ready to tell her. So you know what I do? We don't tell her. Everybody in the comments saying, oh, you know what, you're wrong for not telling your mom. There's a reason why we don't tell our mom. Because she freaks out over everything. My brother was literally on the same street in front of the house. He was just across the street on the sidewalk in front of our mailbox, and she got mad at him because him and my grandma both saw him on the other side, and they was like, what are you doing? Do you know somebody can kidnap you? Do you know somebody can do this to you? Like, always making him afraid of the real world. Because they have so many thoughts in their brain. They all have the same job. They all have the same car. They all go to the same job, just in different place. They all been doing this for years. So my brother having a job away from the family literally pisses my mom off because she doesn't know what my brother's doing 24/7. She told him that he's literally just running the streets. Anyway, so she starts getting to cussing. She starts getting to yelling at everybody. She's mad as hell. She's literally sitting there talking about, if your brother doesn't come home in 10 minutes, I'm calling the police. My man literally had just left to go pick my brother up. We stayed at the house because we wanted to see what she was going to do. So my mom's cussing at us and saying, oh, where's your brother? Where's your brother? So we told him what he told us to tell her. Oh, he's hanging out with his friends. He's 17 years old. Never hang out with his friends a day in his life. That was a lie because he was at work.
So my mom has been trying to control him and everything like that. Like my brother does a lot for my mom. Me and my sister really don't, because we already know how our mom is. But my brother, he still kind of has hope for her. So we just let him have hope, and we let him do what he gonna do. I'm not gonna try to change his mind and say, oh, you know what, you're disrespecting me. No, that's just him. Man calls me, he says, your brother needs to go to the bank. I'm gonna take him. I said, okay, fine. So then I told my mom, my brother's going to the bank. He's like, why is he doing at the fucking bank? I said, he has to deposit the money that mom had gave him for doing the grass and everything like that. She paid him $160, so my brother had to go deposit that in his bank account that I got for him, because my mom wanted to get him with Wells Fargo, but my brother didn't want that because he already heard that Wells Fargo was kind of like, you know, trashy and everything like that. But my mom wanted to put him under her name because she wanted to control everything that he was doing. Even though when he turns 18, she still said, you're not getting out of the joint account with me. You're going to stay in there even when you turn 18, because I want to know where your money's going and what you're doing with your money. Finally, my brother, she's literally telling us, oh, I'm about to go take a shower, and then if he's not back, I'm gonna call the police. She keeps pushing back, calling the police, so we know she's not gonna call the police. So she's blaming us. She's saying, if something happens to your brother, that's on you, because nobody else cares but me. I'm like, we care about our brother, because we know where he's at. He trusts us enough to tell us what he's doing. And you went there to congratulate him whenever he got the job. Do you know what I did whenever I dropped him off? I bawled my eyes out for only like 15 minutes, because they literally just had to give him a shirt and his apron, and then they sent him home. And then the next day I cried again, because that is my baby brother. I have grown up with him. I have raised him myself. The only thing my mother literally provided was the money to take care of him, to feed him and everything like that, and to clothe him, because I couldn't do that. I was a child. But now I can do that, and my mama has literally no, like, really regards for them besides, like, I do. She goes, takes a shower. She gets out of the shower, and my brother comes home. She's literally like, where you been? What you been doing? He's like, I've been looking for a job. And she says, didn't I tell you that I was going to get you a job? My brother already told her, I don't want to work with you, because then my grandma's going to have to pick them up and drop them off. And my grandma charges every day for gas. I'm not exaggerating. If she sees a notch or even an inch down, she will go put gas in her car. So she's charging them $20 a day. So my brother said no. And my mom was like, oh, I was going to do this for you. Oh, you think they care about you? You think I love you? Because I already told you, if something happens to you, I'm going to be the one laying in the grave with you, not them. I'm like, you're not that selfless. You're selfish as hell. So she's sitting there literally cussing my brother out and cussing me and my sister out at the same time, telling us, who the hell helped you get a job? Who the hell helped you do that? Because my brother had to tell her, because my brother was going to work a 9 to 5 the next day. But they called him and told him, you didn't have to come in. But my brother said, I'm going. He said, I'm going to my job. Are you going to mess up my job just because you don't want me to go? She was like, I'm going to sue the company. I'm like, why are you going to sue the company? I signed off on it. I said he can do it. But she doesn't know that, because she thinks that my brother just went do him by himself. But she still blames everybody. Even though she doesn't really know who helped him or how he got there, she blames everybody because she wants my brother to stay so close to her. You know what's funny as hell? The day that my brother didn't go to work, my uncle calls him and he says, oh, I got a job for you. Are you ready to come up here? And he said, no, I got a job. And they said, oh, where is it at? Because my mom has no idea where my brother works, because he won't tell her. I'm not telling her. My sister won't tell her. She gets mad because she's like, oh, y'all got all these secrets. Yes, because you freak out over nothing. So she's telling him he's not going. And she says, if you go, I'm going to find out where you work. I'm going to get you. And she said she was going to call the police. My brother said he was going whether she calls the police or not. But she's not really putting blame on my brother. She's putting blame on me, my sister, and my man, and everybody else who was involved. I damn near feel like she put blame on my baby sister too. She's saying my other sister encouraged him. She says that I took him there even though I shouldn't have, like I should know better. And she said when I have my own kids, I would know how that feels. I'm like, no, I have these kids, okay? I'm the one that pushed my sister to get the job that she has, and she loves it. I'm the one that pushed my brother to get a job, even though I didn't have to push him far because he wanted to get a job already. She calling us ungrateful, she calling us dumb, stupid, and all these other kind of names. In reality, that's not my problem. You feel that way because you can't control your son. And she said, oh, he's just acting just like you, where you were running the streets. I wasn't running the streets. I literally was 20 years old and I just wanted to hang out with my friends, so I would just leave the house without telling her. And she would get mad because she didn't know where I was. That's how my mom like reacted when my brother got his first job ever. And she's not going to like it because the next day, my brother has to work at 5 to 9 because she said, you're not working at night. I'm not going to allow it. My brother says, I don't care. So yeah. Did your mom or dad react like this whenever you got a job, or anybody in your family ever literally freak out over nothing or try to scare you from the world? Because I promise you, even though the world is scary, it's not that scary that you can't have a job.
I'm going to start a new series called Things My Mom Said to Me When I Was Younger That She Doesn't Recall Now That I'm an Adult, and I bring it up to her and she gaslights me for it. So this is part 1. When I first moved down to Florida with my mom, she worked at the YMCA for a little bit. I think around this time, I was maybe, I want to say 9 or 10, right?
Now, my mom should have been bipolar diagnosed a very long time ago, but she never was. So that comes into play, you know. So with her working at the YMCA, I was there with her throughout the day. And one day I was carrying around a notebook that I had, and I said something or I did something and she didn't like it. So she chased me into the YMCA bathroom. I locked the door behind me. She came in anyway. She demanded that I unlock the door. Now, I was a quiet kid. I had a notebook and I had a regular book with me, and that's what I did all the time, was read and write. So when I finally unlocked the bathroom door, she came in, pushed me up against the wall in the bathroom. I tried to block my face with my notebook because I thought she was going to hit me, and she, in turn, shoved the notebook and the book up against my face, causing a nosebleed because she did it so forcefully. And I've reminded her about this, and she doesn't remember. She tells me I would never do anything like that to you. I would never put my hands on you. Yeah. This is just part 1. Many more parts to go. Alright, this is part 2 of things my mom said or did during my childhood that she doesn't remember now that I bring them up to her as an adult and she gaslights me for them. I really didn't expect the first video to get any views, any likes, any comments. I just thought it was a good place for me to rant and rave about my childhood because nobody else wants to hear it. But it's crazy that so many people have experienced the same thing with their mom. It's weird. But here's part 2. So this one's pretty traumatic. So this has to do with abuse and a little bit of physical violence. So if that triggers you, please skip this video, go to something else. All right, so this happened when I was about 14 or 15. So I was either a freshman or a sophomore in high school. Around this time, me and my mom did not get along. We were fighting all the time. She was keeping me basically from interacting with friends. I was only allowed to go to school. I wasn't allowed to hang out with anybody. That was that. Therefore, I wasn't allowed to have social media. I wasn't allowed to have Facebook. I wasn't allowed to have Instagram, Twitter, whatever. Nothing. So I had very limited interaction with people my own age. One day I decided that I was going to make a fake Facebook. Never try to hide things from your parents because they will always find out. But around this time I had just gotten my cartilage pierced, which is that little piercing up here. And I think I only had it for maybe about a week or 2. So it was very fresh, still healing. I had just gotten out of the shower and I had my hair wrapped up. You know, when you have long hair, you tend to wrap your hair up when you get out of the shower to let it dry. And my mom found out that I had a Facebook. She waited for me to get out of the shower, and as I stepped out, she pointed to her computer screen and asked me what the fuck I was doing on social media. I told her I had a Facebook, and she was livid. She grabbed the towel that was on my head and ripped it off, and grabbed me by my hair, full-fisted by my hair, and proceeded to slap the shit out of me. By my hair, now imagine this. Hair grabbed and just slapping me back and forth on my ear, on my head, all over my body, basically, all in my face. And there was nothing that I could do. Unfortunately, she slapped my ear so hard, my piercing ended up rejecting, and I got an infection from it, and I was bleeding very, very bad from it. I've told her the story many times, and she's apologized and says that she does remember this one, but that I should have never made a Facebook in the first place. Don't abuse your kids.
Mind you, this my life. Okay, so I'm gonna give y'all story time of why I don't talk to my mom, why we don't talk at all. So a lot of people might have grew up inside of a 2-parent household or 1-parent household. I, in fact, grew up in a 2-parent household, but with 2 moms. So my mom is gay. yes, she is a stud actually. So it made my life as a girl just a little bit different because she's seeing things as a man's point of view instead of a mother's point of view. And certain things like relationship wise, mental health, anything girl talk, it just didn't go smoothly because she had a opinion of a man instead of a mom. Now, I'm not gonna get on here and bash my mother, but I'm just gonna tell my story on why I don't fuck with her right now. So it's been 2 years. No, I'm lying. It's been like, my daughter's 3. It's been like 3 years since me and my mom ever was on good terms. When I was going through postpartum depression, she looked the other way. It was to a point where I was really on the verge of offing myself because postpartum did me dirty, and that's why I will never have any more kids. I'm done with the kids because postpartum did me so dirty that it traumatized me, literally. So I'm a family oriented person, so I got my own house. I started my own family. So it was one time I'm going through postpartum depression, and mind you, this is actually like right after pandemic. So 2021, I'm going through postpartum depression, and I ain't seen my family in years. Everybody always like, oh no, we need to stay in our own households. We don't need to mix. I'm fucking depressed. I need to be around people. People don't realize that what the pandemic did to certain people, like that shit put us through a deep depression. Like, especially if you used to being around your family and your folks, like that shit was hurting me. So I was fed up one time. I had planned, I think it was family photos. I think it was like around Christmas, and I said everybody needs to wear black and white. I mean black and red, so we could take a family photo. I'm cooking dinner, and my mom's like, she texts back in a group message like, I don't have time for that right now. Like, bro, what? I'm putting all this. Do you know how stressful it is when you're trying to like put an event together and you're making sure everybody, and then your own mother is just negative about it? That shit hurt me. So that was strike one. And then one time she was in the city. She does Lyft, so she's all around the city. So it's like if you wanted to be there, you could be there. It's like I'm crying out for help because I'm going through postpartum depression. I'm like, Mom, can you get the kids or whatever just so I can take a fucking shower? She's like, no, I gotta run. And that shit right there, I cried that whole night. So after that, I just start looking at her different. Like, bro, you always make time for everything else. She's like, oh, me and my girlfriend is going to this. Me and my girlfriend is going here. So I feel like you make time for everything else, but you put me on the back burner all the time. You know I'm a new mom. I'm new to this. You as a mom of 3, even though you didn't do your best, you as your mom of 3 should be there to consult me. Oh, this is how you do this. Oh, this is how you do that. She didn't do none of that, y'all. I'm sorry. I am crying on this because this still hurts. Like, this still hurts. Like, she don't even talk to me. After the situation with my sister, she don't talk to me. She checked up on me for that 1 week, checking up with my daughter that 1 week, and after that, I didn't hear from her since. So sometimes when I say I feel guilty in that last story time, it's because she didn't check up on me. She didn't check up on my kid. She didn't see my kid. So this story actually hurts way worse. Sometimes as a girl, you just need that mom love. I never had that mom love. Like, she will always lean towards closer to my brother. Like, he used to be everything. It's one boy in the family, so he used to be everything to her. And her daughters, she just used to give us tough love all the time. Now, as a mother, I'm not getting no jobs that's going to take away from my kids. Like, it's no way I'm just going, oh yeah, I gotta work. Like I said, when I became a mother, I'm going to take, because this hurt me so bad as a child and I didn't notice it until after I became a mother, that I'm not taking on no job that doesn't align with my kid's schedule. Like, it's no way you think I'm going to accept this offer that does not align with my kid's schedule. Every day after school, I used to hear, I'm sleep for work. I want to come home and tell my stories of what happened in school. I'm sleep for work. I gotta do this. I gotta get up for work. Although you gotta pay bills, I understand that, but certain times you have to be there for your kids. So I used to make like a promise to myself, like, if it's not between the hours of 9 and 3, 9 and 5 where I can maneuver, I'm not taking a job offer because I need to be there for my kids. They won't feel this pain that I feel as an adult that I didn't notice until I became an adult. Actually, I did notice as a child, but it just like, it didn't really bother me. So postpartum depression had me so depressed and fed up. I just told her, like, you dead to me. And she took that so bad. Like, she took that so bad. Like, I'm dead to you. Okay, keep it like that. And she just had this nonchalant attitude, like, okay, keep it like that. And I feel like she's waiting on me to text her, like, Mom, I need you. And that's never the case. The only time I did that was the situation that happened with my daughter. I didn't even need her then, to be honest, but I needed to let you know your daughter is this. You get what I'm saying? But she still haven't been there. So that shows you what type of mother she is. Like, you don't care. Oh, you taking this one thing that I said when I was going through postpartum depression. I was ready to kill myself. Me saying that you're dead, you actually gonna act dead. And that's fine with me too, because my life been thriving since. Like, when you cut out toxic people outside your life, people that hurt you, people that done you wrong. And it's more to this even story about my mom, because I'm not gonna go too deep in it. Actually, I am gonna go deep in it, because fuck this shit. I'm so tired of everybody just put Ty on the back burner and not let me speak up. No, I'm gonna speak up now. So subscribe to my YouTube channel, because I'm really gonna get in depth. She chose a woman over her kids, and that's really the case. I've been fed up as a child. She kept putting one of them over us. She kept kicking me out. She kept on taking this woman's side and not her own kid's side. Like, it was to the point all the kids are saying the same thing. How is you still with this freaking lady who claims she does not like kids? Why would you get with a person who does not like kids? But I'm gonna get more into that story on YouTube, so make sure y'all subscribe. Bye.
I've never heard anyone put into words what I've been struggling with for about 4 years until today. I listened to a podcast and it is all crystal clear. I feel like I have received a diagnosis and I'm like, oh my God, it all makes sense. Because for so long I was sitting there trying to make sense of it, and I was like, is this a me problem? Is this a someone else problem? Like, what is happening? I might cry because it's emotional, but let's just get into it. I come from a broken home. If you've been here for more than one video, maybe you know that I come from an emotionally, mentally, and physically abusive home. And I don't say that to get pity. I say that because I think a lot of people can relate to it, A, but B, at one point the road forked. I had a choice to either continue the cycle, right? Continue treating people the way that I learned to treat people. When you're a kid, everything's monkey see, monkey do. So if you're not seeing healthy relationships around you, chances are, as you're growing up, you attract unhealthy relationships. If you're never given the tools to regulate your nervous system or operate in a state of awareness, or even just practice healthy coping mechanisms when life does get hard, you're kind of just in survival mode. Or I could follow the fork to the right and attend therapy, learn pretty much basic communication skills, basic survival skills that some people are so fortunate because their parents taught them that and they didn't ever have to look back on it. They just have all of those tools in adulthood. And it felt like they're 10 steps ahead of me already, and like, why did they get a head start but I didn't? That was part of therapy, is like, how do I stop blaming everything else and take responsibility and move forward with power? I digress because now I'm rambling. Obviously, I chose the latter. And as I chose the latter, things started happening to me and for me. Holy shit. I'm not gonna cry today. Whether it was I started recognizing that my kids were a million times more fortunate than I was at age 1, 2, 3. My relationship with my husband was unlike anything I've ever understood. The love that I felt for a human is something that I've never understood in my life. It's euphoric, it's unconditional, and I didn't think that existed, not even with my own parents. I, at age 18, was on salary. I started making real money. Things started happening to me. More opportunities were opened. I was recommended to work here and there, and people were trying to poach me from here and there. At one point, I'm like, I'm gonna start my own business. I started a little teeth whitening studio out of my home, and I'm like, no, I can do more than this. So I started social media. And just one of my brand deals last year, I'm talking to my mom about it, and I tell her how much I got paid, and she's like, I don't even make that in a year. And then I was flooded with guilt because here my parents are still struggling, but I've somehow climbed. The podcast I listened to Michelle Obama on Jay Shetty's podcast. That's who I listen to. And she talked about how sometimes in life you've got to just choose to climb and leave people behind. And that's so hard because it's also like a foreigner cultural thing. Like when your parent is an immigrant, you grow up and you give them money, you give back to them for what they gave you. You feel indebted to them. I've been battling this really deep feeling of I'm doing great for myself, but what about them? What about my siblings? I want to bring them up with me. I can't leave them behind. And I'm not trying to say that I'm above them by any means. My siblings watch my videos and I love them more than anything. But what I'm saying is Michelle Obama called this survivor's remorse. And she explained that you can either move forward, leaving people behind, knowing that they're not ready to climb with you yet, or you can sit there trying to get them to climb with you and drag you down and pull them up and whatever. It's this big struggle and then you don't ever get there, so everyone loses. And oh my God, was this so profound? I'm like, am I happy? Am I sad? I don't know how I'm feeling right now. She even used the example of kids that got to go to college, right? They get their student loan, they get to go to college and, you know, their parents didn't or whatever, and instead of using their student loan for books and stuff that they should be using it for, they send money back home. They're paying the electric bill for their parents. Okay, I gave myself a second to calm down because I tried recording this next part and I lost it. Last month, I put thousands of dollars towards some fines my dad had because he got himself in trouble. Because I told myself that if my dad passed away in the next couple of years, which probably wouldn't be a shock, I would regret so badly if I didn't help him move forward, even though I had the means to. And now a month later, I fight myself every single day. I'm like, am I glad that I did that? Am I not? Am I glad I did? Yeah, just for that survivor's remorse feeling that I felt, like it was the way to soothe that. But on the other hand, I enabled my dad's toxic behavior, and that's what I'll call it. And I opened up the door for more manipulation from him, and I've seen it. A week later, he's asking for several thousands of dollars, and then a couple days later, he's saying 911 emergency, I need your help, I'm being sued, I need more money. And I'm like, why did I do that? Why did I do that? Not only was it such a moment of weakness, I fell captive to that survivor's remorse, and I helped my dad, and it just caused a bigger problem. But also I held my family back a little. Like, not a lot. I'm talking thousands of dollars. I'm not talking tens of thousands of dollars, but that could have been part of our down payment on our house that we want oh so badly. That could have paid for winter tires several years over. There's our grocery budget for a lot of months. Like literally taking food off of my kids' table to do what? Again, I digress, and Michelle Obama opened up my eyes so much today. This concept of survivor's remorse that I've never heard of is something that I feel like should be talked about more, because I think a lot of the people that do succeed nowadays do come from nothing. Nothing is better than the story of somebody that made something from nothing, whether you're a professional athlete or a doctor or whatever. I just hope that if anyone else is deeply at war with themselves, asking themselves, do I keep climbing or do I slow down and wait for them to catch up? Do I help them? Go listen to that podcast, number one. But number two, let me be the second person to tell you, keep climbing. Because like she said, if you don't, then everyone loses.
Get ready with me while I talk about things I got in trouble for with a really strict dad. So these are things that I think a child would not normally get in trouble for, but I guess we'll see. So starting off strong, I didn't get him or make him a birthday card when I was like 8 or 9. So me and my brother got sent to our rooms for the rest of the day. We tried to call our mom to tell her what happened, and then we got in trouble for that. The next thing I got in trouble for was for not being hungry at breakfast time or not eating all my food at dinner. I mean, it wasn't because I wanted to be skinny or something like that. I was literally just really little and could not physically eat the same amount as my older brother could. I don't understand how that one is that wrong. And on that note, one time I had some food left that I just was not hungry at all. I had eaten so much. So then I said I had to go to the bathroom, then I stuffed it all in my mouth, and then I went to the bathroom and spit it out in the toilet. And when I came out, my dad had his ear to the door and he was like, bruh. And then I was sent to my room and I was crying, and then he came in and he was like, you need to apologize to your stepmom for doing that because now she thinks you hate her food. And she was just making that up to make me feel bad, obviously. She could care less. The next thing I got in trouble for was for texting somebody the poop emoji. Yeah, I got in a lot of trouble for that one. The next thing I got in trouble for was for getting car sick and throwing up in the car. And I had to clean it up after. The next thing isn't something I got in trouble for. It's just kind of a weird rule we had, that we had to ask before we could have a snack. Or just eat in general. Like, we had to ask before we could, like, eat. Like, I don't know, I didn't really realize how weird that one is until, like, now. But also it just doesn't make sense because it's like, you want me to eat all my food, but then when I'm not hungry you're mad at me, but then when I am hungry you're also mad at me. Like, make it make sense, pal. The next thing I got in trouble for was for bringing clothes that I bought with gift cards that my dad and stepmom gave me to my mom's house. So, like, I wasn't allowed to bring anything from my dad's house to my mom's house, but obviously my mom didn't care, so, like, she let me bring stuff from her house to my dad's house, because, like, the next thing is honestly just, like, a weird story that happened, but, like, my old babysitter, for some reason, told my dad that I wanted to, like, my siblings, my little sibling, but luckily my dad believed me, and yeah. And the last thing I got in trouble for is telling him that I was happier at my mom's house, and that got me kicked out the house. The full story time is pinned on my page. Let me know if you think these are strict rules or not. Yeah, guys, thanks for watching.
I'm back to tell you more crazy things that happened with my mom, but this time we're adding a new crazy side character, my sister. One story that comes to my mind is that my mom made my sister dinner, and she made it with like white rice instead of brown rice, and my sister got so mad by that she literally threw the plate at my mom's head. My mom literally did everything for her. Like, she let her think that she could get away with it. My mom just bent literally to my sister's like every dying need, and she just did everything for her. And so like my sister started to like snap when she was like 15. I don't know like why she went insane, but she started to get like all these crazy anger issues, and the cops would be at her house at least like 2 times a month, and it was so fun. My sister was just really a violent person and really like angry, and she had issues, okay? I mean, like, we all had issues living there, okay? So she wasn't the only one, obviously, but she just took it out in mean ways. And I would try to defend myself, and my mom would tell me to defend myself, but then I would defend myself, and I would literally get screamed at for no reason, be like, why'd you defend yourself? Why'd you defend yourself? But then when I would talk to her about it separately, she would tell me to defend myself, but when I would defend myself, I would get grounded. Nothing happened to my sister, literally nothing. She could beat up my mom, she could break doors, she could do whatever, and my mom didn't care. Now that we're going into the whole breaking doors thing, my sister would literally break doors and break into rooms. I taught her how to break into rooms. I literally don't know why I did that. She would break into rooms, and my mom proceeded to get herself a new lock on her door and just like leave me out, and that was basically it. Like, my sister could still break into my room. She couldn't get into my mom's though, just mine. My mom got a door with a key, but like my door, you could put like a little thing like this in, or a Q-tip, and you could just like push the lock through and it would just like open. I'm not gonna lie, like I'm not perfect either. Like, I pushed my sister down the stairs one time, but you know, you gotta do what you gotta do to survive. But I'm just saying, I'm not perfect. My mom always told me that I was just the guinea pig child, and it didn't really matter how she parented me because she could just fix it with my sister, which she obviously didn't fix it with my sister, because do you see how she looks now? Do you see what she's into? Do you see what she does? Like, she didn't fix it, okay? So I don't really know what that's saying, because look at me, I'm chilling in my studio. Never sat right with me being called the guinea pig child, because she literally just kept saying she just didn't care how she parented me because it was just like a test run. Like, what the fuck do you mean, lady? Sometimes my mom would text me and be like, are you home? And I would have been home for like 4 days. Like, I would literally be home. You could openly see my car in the garage, but she would still text me and be like, are you home? Where have you been? When I've been home the whole time. She just never really cared about what I was up to until it was like a reason for her to get mad and be like, what are you doing? Like, you know, like when she could get mad, then she all of a sudden like gave a fuck about where the fuck I was. But before that, she did not care at all. She became a little bit better for a little bit when I was like 15, when she saw I wanted to like myself, you know. Then she became a little bit nicer, but that lasted like 3 months. My mom would also tell me that she was trying to get my sister taken out of the house and put into a group home, and that she just didn't care at all, and that she was so over it. Then she would just be laughing at me with my sister like the next week, and it didn't make any sense to me, because like I just didn't understand, like, how can you say that you just don't want someone in this house and all that, and then just like shit talk me the next week? That's just what she does as a parent, I guess, but still, like, fuck. I don't know what type of parenting method she's using or where the fuck she got it from, but wherever she did, ooh. I know parents leave their kids home alone all the time, but sometimes she would literally just go to North Carolina in the middle of the week for like a whole week, and I had school and everything. My sister had school, and it wasn't, you know, like she just dipped. Never made sense to me. Like she literally would just like book a flight and be like, bye. Like, first of all, where the fuck was my invite? Lost in the mail? She just like literally wanted to escape us so bad. Like, fuck. My mom got my sister this German Shepherd, like literally like a purebred German Shepherd. Like she got her this dog, and this dog like literally ended up being the most vicious dog. Like it would attack me, it would attack my friends, literally attack the fuck out of my friend and like cut her leg, broke her pants, everything, and she was bleeding, everything. My mom like gave no fucks, and she would blame everybody but the dog, and she said that I could only leave my rooms at certain times after we got the dog. So I could never like really leave my room at certain times because the dog would be out, and I just knew that I couldn't go out by the dog. But the dog literally gave no fucks about everybody else. Like everybody else could be out there, but it was just like me and my friends, like we could never be out of the like my room, and it was like I also would have to text before I would leave my room too and be like, can I come out of my room or what? And she could be like, no, you can't, the dog's out, and I would literally have to stay locked in my room. It was the nicest puppy ever, I swear. I don't know where the fuck they went wrong or what, but he literally went crazy, and we had to send him away for training for a few months, and then he came back and he was still attacking the fuck out of everybody except like them. So it's whatever. I was the one who got banished to my room, so it's fine. I wonder if the dog is still attacking everybody. She made me get rid of my cat, and then it attacked my other cat, and so we had to get rid of my other cat too. And it was just like a whole thing, and then he attacked my cat too. Like, okay, I had 3 cats, but he like attacked my baby cat, and he literally had to get stitches on his paw, and it was like the most horrifying thing for me ever as a cat mom, and I just hated the dog ever since then. Well, I mean, I hated him before that, but that drew the line. I wonder if they're still being crazy together. Like I literally wonder, like, should I drive past their house and like just be like, what are y'all up to? Or no, that's actually stalkers. Like my mom would actually probably put me in jail. My family's kind of cuckoo, but I'm free from them now, and I'm living my best life in my little studio apartment with my cat. I actually don't know where he is, but I'm living my best life now, so it doesn't even matter.
Hi guys, get ready with me while I tell you some things that my evil stepmom did to me when I was growing up. Okay, I met her when I was 8 years old. She had been my dad's ex-girlfriend before my biological mother. My biological mother died when I was very young. So I was happy that my dad was like messing around with women because I wanted a mom. Like as a young girl, I wanted a mother. I wanted to be able to make Mother's Day crafts and give them to my mom, but I never was able to. But, so I met her when I was about 8, and those are in like your development years. Like, you know, you're a young little baby. But she made us call her mom. We only knew her for maybe about a year at that point, but we had to call her mom. And it was weird. It was weird because I was still like kind of upset with my dad because she was very invasive. Like she just wanted to be our mom. And it was like, I just wanted my mom because I thought it would be nice, but she would just take control over everything we did. And it's like, bitch, you're not my mother. You're not my mom. Stop acting like my mom. But then shortly after that point, it was Christmas, and they pulled me into their room, and it's Christmas like morning, like we all open presents, like I'm like, oh, I'm special, like I got my own gift, whatever. And they told me, my dad and her told me she was fucking pregnant. What? You're pregnant? At that point, like I was happy, like it's like, okay, like yay, like a baby, like oh, maybe a little sister, like great. But it was also like, now we're stuck with you. You're pregnant, now we're fucking stuck with you. And we were. And after that, we moved in with her. We left my grandparents' house and we moved in with her. And it was a big thing because I was moving schools, I was leaving all my friends, like it was a big thing. And I had resentment towards her because you're ruining my life. Like you just swoop in and now we have to move with you. Just because you got fucking pregnant. Like in a little fucking 8-year-old mind, like I was being selfish, but it's also like fuck you. But after that, we moved in with her, and she just started turning into a complete cunt. And I think it's because she knew that she now had my dad on lock, and she would just start being mean and like yelling at us. And it started as yelling. It just started as yelling and like her just being rude when my dad would leave or like go to this fucking garage to smoke a cigarette, and she would just be mean. And me, I'm like I think like 9 years old at this point, and my little brother was 5. Why are you yelling at a 5-year-old and a 9-year-old, and you're not even our mom? But throughout those like 7 years of meeting her, she would tell me that I am getting bigger and that I need to stop eating so much. I was so skinny you could see my ribs poking through. I was skinnier than I am now. And I gained an eating disorder from that because it's like, if my mom is telling me that I'm fat, I have to be fat. Like, why would my mother say that if it wasn't true? So I gained an eating disorder, and then she would get mad at me because I wouldn't want to eat because I was fat. And then she would literally sit there and watch me eat, overeat. She used to make me before school. I don't eat breakfast before school. I'm not fucking hungry before school. I'm worried about getting ready, like brushing my teeth, like yada yada yada, like all the fucking important shit. I can eat whenever. Lunch is at 10 a.m. I'm fine. But she would sit there and make me eat 2 bagels. Not 2 halves, 2 fucking bagels. And then I would fucking feel sick the whole day. Another rule that came with that was we could not use the bathroom while eating a meal. Because in her head, we were going to the bathroom to spit it out. Like, and if we did go to the bathroom, we had to ask. And we had to, like, show her. What if I gotta piss? What if I'm literally about to fucking shit myself and I'm having explosive diarrhea and I shit? Okay. Another rule that I had was I wasn't allowed to wear shorts or tank tops around the house with my dad home. Not because, whatever, no, she was insecure and she said that's inappropriate and she would never just like that in front of her dad. It's not like I'm walking around with my fucking thong and Victoria's Secret bombshell bra. I'm fucking in a tank top and shorts. Also, another thing that I want you to keep in mind, my dad had no idea of this. No idea of these rules, no idea of this behavior, because my stepmom told me that if we told him, he wouldn't believe us, number 1, and number 2, we would get in trouble. Because we were causing issues in their relationship. Okay. But okay, with those phone rules, we couldn't put it past 8 o'clock or we would literally get in so much fucking trouble. But I remember this one time, I was in trouble, so she made me put it away earlier. So I walked out and it was in this little drawer in our kitchen. It was like the electronic drawer, like we had to put all our electronics in there. But I did it. I was not even looking at her. I was looking straight and she was like, what the fuck was that? I didn't even do anything. Like, I swear to God, I didn't do anything. I was like, what was what? Like, and that is talking back to her, so I was in trouble. But she lunges at me, bro. From across the island. Like, she runs around and she grips me up by my neck and slams me against the fucking door leading into the garage. And at this point, I'm like, what the fuck do I do? My stepmom is sitting here with her hand around my throat. And apparently the reason was because I was so disrespectful and I was rolling my eyes at her. I did not roll my eyes at her, because every time I would roll my eyes at her, I would get slapped across the face. Why would I do that? I'm scared of you. Why would I do that? Okay, side note, I'm really excited to see this curl with the color, like the main color. But, like, that completely threw me off because she would, like, hit us and, like say I would have a makeup headband on and with a bow in it, she would literally rip the bow out and throw it and make me go get it, like a dog. Huh? Another thing, she would literally kick our dog's cage. Like, our dog would be barking and she would go over and fucking kick the cage with the dog in it. Yo. No. No. The dog's barking. She never barks. She's barking because there's someone at the door. That's what dogs do. If you didn't want a dog, like, if you didn't want something barking in the house, you shouldn't have bought a fucking dog. What? I don't know. She was just problematic and literally complained about everything. And I'm sure some of you guys have heard, though. You guys don't help me in this house. That's so funny because when I try to help you, I'm not doing it up to your expectations, so then I get in trouble. I couldn't do anything without getting in trouble in that fucking house. But anyway, bringing it to baby number 2. It was the summer before high school. I'm pretty sure it was the night of my high school, like, orientation. And I was asking my parents what they think I'd be good at. And they were like, my dad was like, I know what you'd be good at, being an older sister. Boy, I already am to 2 younger siblings. What the fuck are you talking about? And then he looked at my little brother and he was like, and I think you'd be a good older brother. And then he looked at my youngest sister and was like, you'd be a great older sister. Oh, and then this fucking tramp slut bitch was like, I'm pregnant! Also, when she was pregnant with my one sister, the one who was born during, like that baby, the one that I got told during Christmas, my younger sister was born early, and the doctor told her, do not have any more babies, the baby will die. And then you get pregnant again? Just to keep my dad around for longer? Oh, you're so selfish, you're so fucking selfish. Also, going back to their wedding, oh my god, I missed a big part. After a year we moved in, my dad told me that he was going to propose to her. He did not ask me, he did not ask my brother, he just told us, I'm going to propose to her. And we were like, oh, like, oh, okay. I had to take the pictures. Him proposing to her, I had to take the pictures. Don't mind this curl, whatever. But I had to take the fucking pictures, and I was annoyed because, like, come on, you're just mocking me at that point. Like, whatever. Now I'm just doing little touch-ups in my hair, and I have to still brush it out, but she was pregnant again, and she got hospitalized because her blood pressure was too high. You wanna know why? She was hitting us and yelling at us at every little fucking moment, and telling us how stupid we are. Call CPS now. But actually, before their wedding, I don't even know, I'm like skipping around, but before their wedding, I told my dad I didn't want him to marry her. I finally got the courage to say, I don't want you to marry her. You know what my dad did? You know what my dad, my best fucking friend, did? The man I trusted with everything in the world. He told her, and she would bring that up still, that she never said that she didn't want me as a daughter, even though I'm so fucking difficult to deal with and raise. No one asked you to do this. No one asked you to do this. If you wanted a family of your own, you should not have gotten a fucking marriage with a guy who already had 2 kids. That's logic, I fear. But yeah, so she got pregnant again, had a baby, whatever. I love them both so dearly. Whatever, like, I love them. They're my sisters. But after I actually ran away, she told my little sister well, both, but the one was one. She told them that I ran away because I don't love them, and I'm not even their real sister. I don't know what's going on here, just ignore it. But, so my little sister, who could, like, comprehend it, thought I hated her. No. Okay, and another thing is we were gonna move, but only I knew. My stepmom would talk to me about everything, like, towards, like, the end of the year where I was, like, going, like, when we were moving, because me and my little brother were gonna go somewhere, and then her and my little sisters were gonna go somewhere else. Which I already didn't like, because, what do you mean? Like, what do you mean I'm losing my sisters? I don't give a fuck about you. Where are you and my little sisters going? Let me know. But, also, don't come at me if I'm not curling my hair correctly. I'm 16 and I don't know how to curl hair right. Not too much. But whatever. I told my little brother that we were moving, which I was in a lot of trouble for, because I wasn't supposed to tell anyone. But I ended up getting grounded and screamed at, hit, all that. And at this point, I was so fucking done. Just so fucking done, like, and it was just a whole bunch of bullshit, that's what it was. But, you know, whenever I was gone, my siblings, my little brother came with me, and pretty much it was literally just that and our stepmom. She's not even our stepmom. I'm gonna call her Angie. Angie was just a cunt. Angie was just a cunt. But then when I left, apparently she was just being really nice to my siblings and, like, all the stuff I begged for. But at least my siblings got something out of it. I don't know. Here's the hair. If you guys want a story time of how I ran away and just more shit she did to me and my siblings, I will make one because I love talking about it because it is not fair. But I'll probably make another get ready with me later when I do my makeup, but love you.